What's up, guys? In this video I'm talking about the Apple conference that they held today. Now they did talk about the MacBook Pro and the Mac Pro, but I'm not going to get into it because what really was the main star of the show was the iPad Air and the iPad Mini. Now, to be honest, I was really disappointed of the upgrades for the iPad Air and the iPad Mini compared to last year's generation. So, as for the iPad, Engadget had an article which details the differences between last generations and what they showcased today. So they officially changed the name to iPad Air. So I'm sorry for the background noise, it's my roommate. Anyway, so you have your pretty much same resolution, same pixel density, but the only thing they changed, well, not the only thing, but one of the things they changed was the 64-bit Apple A7 with M7 Motion coprocessor, which is also the one you use in the iPhone 5S. As for the memory, that's still to be determined, but it's most likely going to be 1 gigabyte of memory. Now, even though most people don't really use the camera, they still kept the 1.2 megapixel for the front camera and the 5 megapixel for the rear camera. They didn't even add the slow motion capture, which they did for the iPhone 5S, so that's one of the letdowns. Cellular, they pretty much kept it the same like any other year: GSM, CDMA, HSPA Plus, and LTE. Now, for the Wi-Fi, it was a shock to me that they did not support 802.11 AC, which is the one the Airport Extreme and the Airport Time Capsule, or Apple Time Capsule, um, had on its new features. So it was really a letdown that they didn't have that like the MacBook Pro did. As for everything else, it's pretty much the same besides the weight, obviously. It's going to be 1 pound, so that's why they call it the iPad Air. And the battery is a lot, I guess, less than it was in the last generation. Last generation was 42.5, this one is 32.4. So I'm not really sure that's a good thing. And again, same thing, ports, location for Wi-Fi, 3G, and the price is pretty much the same. So that's a good, uh, I guess, price point for anybody else. I would say to not upgrade unless you have the first generation iPad or the second generation iPad. This was like a minuscule upgrade from last year's generation, and I really find that completely disappointing. Just because it's smaller and thinner doesn't mean it's a full upgrade. No, I'd rather care. Like, it doesn't really matter to me that it's like what point where is it? Weight 0.44 more heavier, 0.44 pounds more heavier, because I could care less. Now, continuing on with the iPad second generation with the Retina display, they did add a little bit more features to it, so I'm just going to run down to it. They finally, like I said, added the Retina display, so you get 326 ppi. They added a new CPU, which is on the iPhone 5S, as well as the new iPad Air. The memory is still waiting to be determined, so it could be a gigabyte or 512 megabytes. They finally added the option to have a 128 gigabyte storage. Camera still the same as cellular, Wi-Fi, no support for 802.11 AC, same Bluetooth, all the same things. Dimensions is different, obviously, as well as the weight. This one is actually heavier than the previous generation, so take it as you want. But at least the battery life is much better on this one. And the minimum price has jumped up to $100. So the starting price for the iPad mini is $399 compared to last year's model, which was $299. So, like I said, I was really disappointed of what they did for the upgrades for the iPad mini and the iPad Air. So, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Just leave a comment. I really am disappointed. I wanted to, elaborate more on this conference, but that just really blew it out of the water. So as you can tell, I'm not gonna get the new generation iPad Air or the iPad mini. So if you guys like this video, please click the like button. If you have any more questions, post a comment. And if you want to see more videos like these, please subscribe. Thanks.